freeze-dried pizza. It's time for some pizza-flavored snacks. Bailey, there's no lizard. The bigger the hair and the bigger the smiles, the more annoying they were. Oh no. Good morning on this lovely Tuesday morning where it's currently 66 degrees at 9 a.m. There's Bailey back there, and there's Bolt. It's mornings like this I want to quote my dearly departed friend Spike, who always used to say, "This is why I live here." It's a beautiful day here in Las Vegas, and I've got two dogs right there. On today's agenda, I'm hoping to do 3 taste tests, but one of them is still on the way from Amazon. And last I checked this morning, it wasn't even in Nevada yet, so maybe that won't happen today, I don't know. The other 2 I have here, one I'm waiting for, so maybe I'll do the first 2 and then wait. I was on YouTube this morning and watching some early 80s concert footage, and I saw the typical comments. There's 2 typical comments that I see on old videos like that. One is, music was better back then. Well, everybody's been saying that for a century. Music was better when you're younger because you're younger. But I've already covered that topic before in the past. The other typical comment I see is, look at that, nobody has phones in their hands. The irony of that comment is it's usually left from someone on a phone. People on phones complain about other people on phones. How does that work? Bailey, do you understand that? Bailey doesn't understand it. Even though I don't talk about politics. When I was in college, I was a political science minor, actually. And I remember learning a concept, I've forgotten most of my college days, but there's one concept from my political science classes that I did remember, something called, I believe it was called Fenno's paradox, if I'm not mistaken. And that's the concept that people tend to not like Congress as a whole, but they like their congressman. Congress is terrible. My congressman's great. How does that work? It doesn't. That's why we're in the mess we're in, among other reasons. But I think that if you zoom out of the bigger picture of the concert footage, people complain about phones on their phone, and also people complain about Congress but liking their congressman. There's kind of a theme there, and that is that, you look at a big picture, it's easy to generalize. But when you zoom in, those generalizations don't always hold up. Everybody's so politicized these days. They bash the red team bashes the blue team and vice versa. But when you're having a simple interaction at the store, you might be talking to someone on the opposing team. You don't realize it. It's not always about that stuff. So to quote Rodney King, can't we all just get along? If you've ever seen the In Living Color skit about Rodney King and Reginald Denny with David Alan Grier and Jim Carrey, I recommend it. It's pretty funny. And Living Color was a great show. Way ahead of its time, getting away with stuff you couldn't get away with now. But I've already rambled about who knows what already. I'm going to probably work on the first 2 taste tests individually, as my other thing hopefully arrives later. So I'm going to get to that in a little bit here, and then we'll see what else I can get up to. So let's do taste test numbers 1 and 2 as a precursor to the main event. All right, it's time for freaking 2 taste test. This is the opening act for the main course. It's gonna come who knows whenever Amazon arrives, I guess. But this is a pizza themed review here. And for the opening act, I've got 2 pizza flavored snacks here. We have Rivalz late night pizza stuffed snacks and Sonoma Creamery pizza crisps. I saw this one advertising on Facebook, which is what started this whole thing. It looks interesting, but we shall see. Now let's take a look at the 2 of these. Now first up, Rivalz. Now Rivalz I wasn't planning on doing. There was another one called Dobrik's, which is David Dobrik's pizza chips I was gonna do. I couldn't find them. So these looked interesting, so I figured they could fill the bill. These are supposed to be like higher protein snacks that keep you full longer. So they're kind of like basically a processed snack trying to be healthier. Whereas the Sonoma Creamery is basically just baked cheese turned into a chip. So they're almost opposites. This is a processed snack trying to be healthier. This one is a healthiest snack trying to be a junk food. The grass is always greener, I guess. Both are pizza flavored, and both of them should hopefully lead up to my main course whenever that arrives. Oddly enough, both of these flavors came out in 2023, and both these companies are in Sonoma, California. So it's not just a competition in freaking 2. This competition must go back for a while. Are they truly rivals? We shall see. Let's open with the wild card, which I wasn't planning on doing in the first place, the Rivalz stuffed snacks. It says real veggie snacks. Veggie? It says we hope the world of classic snacks is ready for a little healthy competition. Health food, healthy snacks, healthy pizza snacks. They say they're unbelievably delicious flavor, dual texture bites. They're as good for your body as they are for your taste buds. They're marketing this as health food. It's time for some pizza flavored snacks. All right, let's crack these open and see what we got here. All right, here are the Rivalz stuffed snacks. I'm kind of getting a little bit of combos vibes from this, but we shall see. Looking at the ingredients, the main ingredient is yellow pea flour, pea protein isolate, sunflower oil. It sounds healthy, but you know what though? Healthy doesn't really matter if it doesn't taste very good. And that is the key here. I haven't seen a single review of these online. Of course, I didn't look either, so if I looked, I might have seen some, but I didn't look. So we are having an unbiased taste test right here. I gotta say one thing, they definitely leave a lot of residue. I mean, look at that. They're residue leaving. Let me try another one here. They're crispy. They almost have like that gluten-free chip texture to them. Kind of a little bit dry and brittle. That's what the inside looks like. I didn't bring any napkins either. Great. The inside tastes like tomato paste. It's just a tomato paste flavor, which is not a bad thing. I guess I get kind of a pizza vibe to it. Texture-wise, though, it has that healthy chip texture to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's that, you know what I'm talking about, that healthy chip texture to it, which I'm not opposed to, but it's a different texture than standard chips. Look at this. Come on, man. They should come with an included napkin or something. All right, let's move on to the next one now. Sonoma Creamery, which I saw advertised on Facebook. Now, I had a hard time finding these. I found these at the World Market. That's how I had to go for these. Now, this is basically just flavored cheese, which that does not smell like the other one. And that's what we got here. This is kind of like baked cheese, which I think is all it really is. This one says these bite-sized snacks packs pizza's delicious flavor and fun into a crunchy, airy, and craveably satisfying little triangle. They're made out of mozzarella, pepperoni, and tomatoes. So this was not, I don't think this is vegetarian. Mozzarella and uncured pepperoni are the two main ingredients. So this should be interesting. Here we go. You know what though? It's funny that when I first bite into it, at first, all I get is like I get smacked with mozzarella. Just tsh, 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 mozzarella. Then when that kind of subsides, when it kind of calms down, you get a little bit of that pepperoni in there. Mozzarella, pepperoni. It's good, but how good is it? Let me compare it to a Rivalz here. A Rivalz has that healthy texture to it, but the flavor is a little bit more balanced. This one is like basically two flavors. Pepperoni way in the distance, mozzarella way up front. The pizza crisps are very, very crunchy. The Rivalz not as much. If you had asked me going into this which one I think I would like better, I would have assumed I would like the pizza crisp more. Because it's not really trying to be healthy, it's just trying to be cheese with some pepperoni in it. But going back and forth, I kind of think I like the Rivalz better. It's almost like a healthy combos, kind of like a healthy pizza combos. This one, it's just that cheese is so strong. After a couple bites, I'm kind of done with it. This one, I could probably eat the whole bag. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's healthy because it's not as good. I don't know. But anyways, two good pizza snacks. I like both of them. I think I like the Rivalz a little bit more. And I'll probably eat both of these in the next couple days. On with the vlog, and then hopefully, after that, the main course, which is also pizza related. Well, it's 3:30 p.m. I'm a little low energy right now because I fell asleep on accident. Didn't mean to. I got in bed to rest my eyes for a little bit. The dogs jumped up there, and the next thing I knew was like a half hour later. But I'm still here. My last food item hasn't arrived yet from Amazon, so I'm going to the store to work on my next freaking reviews video. I got to get some cookie dough for this cookie gadget I'm testing out. Earlier today, I discovered kind of an interesting YouTube live stream. It's the Las Vegas airport. It just shows airplanes taking off and landing. Now, you wouldn't think that would be a particularly interesting live stream for some people, but there's a lot of people watching it. And you know what? I found myself watching it too, so maybe it is interesting. I used to take my kids down to the airport just to watch planes take off and land. It's like cheap entertainment for my kids, and they liked it. Something about watching planes taking off and landing just bring out the kid in me. Apparently a lot of other people too. Anyways, into the store and wait for Amazon. How about some random 80s favorites while I'm driving? I always get asked about my favorite albums different times. Or how about some 80s music opinions here? Now, there's no such thing as a right or wrong opinion. These are just mine. Best albums of the 80s. To me, it's a two-way tie. AC/DC Back in Black, Tears for Fears songs from the Big Chair. Most underrated albums of the 80s. I would say The Fix, Reach the Beach, Simply Red, Picture Book, and maybe the most underrated album by a major artist would be Sign of the Times by Prince, which I think is better than Purple Rain. Favorite Madonna album? Like a Virgin. Worst song of the 80s? We Built This City. Worst music video of the 80s? Well, Rock Me Tonight by Billy Squier ended his career, so that's probably a pretty good one. Most cringy music video of the 80s? Into the Night by Benny Mardones, which is just a cringe fest from beginning to end. Most annoying artists of the 80s? I would say Cyndi Lauper, maybe Bon Jovi, and pretty much any hair metal band from '86 onward. The bigger the hair and the bigger the smiles, the more annoying they were. Best 3-album run in the 80s, Queensryche. They had The Warning, Rage for Order, Operation Mindcrime, 3 albums with not a bad song on them. Best concert I went to in the 80s would be the US Festival, May 29th, 1983. I'll probably watch this back later and disagree with half of what I said, but that's what I'm thinking right now. All right, it is time for a Freakin' 2 taste test. Normally I'm sitting down at this table, but I'm in the middle of filming a review for Freakin' Reviews, and I don't want to move everything around, so I'm standing up for this one. But this is the main course of all my taste tests today, and that is freeze-dried pizza. That's right, freeze-dried pizza. Now this isn't new. Other people have tried it, but I've never tried it myself. I always wanted to. This bag has 2 slices, and it cost me 15 bucks. They say it's a real pizza. There's a window here, and actually it's kind of greasy. Is that a good sign? Maybe. But there are 2 slices in here, and it's 360 calories per slice, so you don't really save anything getting rid of all the moisture in there. So here we go. All right, pulling. Oh, it's broke. Oh, it's broken. Get out of here. Come on, man. Let me get the non-broken piece out. There we go. It doesn't even look like very good pizza. All right, so here's the slice itself. It is hard as a rock. It just feels like pizza's been sitting out for about a week. Has almost no smell to it whatsoever. That's dry. You know, I waited all day for this, and I'm already starting to regret it because that does not look very appealing. They say on the back that they freeze dry it into a snacking experience that's out of this world. I don't know what to say. I'm just gonna give it a shot. Here we go. First bite. I'm not gonna say I love it. I'm not gonna say it's even really good, but maybe isn't as bad as I feared. The flavor's there, like all the taste is actually there. The pizza sauce is actually kind of prominent, but that texture is weird, man. It's like, I don't know how you'd ever get used to that. Let me try another bite of this. Weird. Let me try some crust now. That seems deadly. Oh no. Not the crust. The crust is actually really terrible. Pretty much inedible. I think I'd rather eat the packaging. I'd probably rather eat the packaging than eat the crust again. This part of the pizza, it wasn't inedible. The taste was actually kind of there, but it's so dry. Every bite you gotta wash it down with like 3 gallons of soda. I don't know if this is being sold as like a prepper thing, as like a novelty item. It'd probably be shelf safe for about 20 years. So I guess in an emergency you could eat it. It may not be as enjoyable as a nice greasy slice of pizza, but you know, would I order it again? Absolutely not. I'm glad I tried it, but I probably wouldn't try it again. Also, 15 bucks for 2 slices of pizza that don't even taste very good. That's a tough sell. But you know what though? They sold to me, so maybe they sold to others as well. But with that, now let's get back to the vlog. What happens if I try all 3 of these together at the same time? That's right, Rivalz and the Sonoma Creamery Pizza Crisp. Oddly enough, that's probably the best thing I tried so far. You know, having all this kind of dry, crispy, fake pizza makes me want to have some real pizza. Greasy, dripping, real pizza. And by the way, I've been kind of nibbling on those snacks that I tried earlier today. I kind of have to say, the Sonoma Creamery, the Sonoma Creamery ones, kind of, the more I eat them, the less I like them. They're still all right, but I think they're just so heavy in the mozzarella that it's just almost, it's too strong of a flavor. I mean, I'm still gonna eat the whole bag, but will I buy more? Probably not. But man, look at this sunset back there. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of this day before it's over. Well, that's about it for this day. You know, the other day, a couple of us on my Discord watched Kindergarten Cop, which is kind of funny because that sent me down a quick rabbit hole because I had 2 stints of teaching myself. One was in early 1991 when I was a substitute teacher. That might be the worst job I ever had. If you've ever been a substitute teacher before, you'll know. Nothing like walking into a classroom full of kids who are just looking at you as the victim. And then a couple years later, I got to teach at the university level, and I didn't like that either. That really kind of sucks because I originally wanted to be a college professor. So I spent 6 years in college working for that. And then when I finally got to do it, I didn't like it. Watching Kindergarten Cop reminded me of that life lesson I learned of be careful what you wish for, because you might get it. And what's funny is I never wanted to be a YouTuber. I didn't wish for that at all, but I got that anyways. Maybe that's the best way to get things when you weren't really planning to. They just kind of happen organically. And speaking of happen organically, Bailey organically just messed up my butterflies over there to redo them. Over there, she thinks there's a lizard living down there. Now she's like destroying my decorative butterflies. Bailey, there's no lizard. But that's it for this day. I hope you enjoyed my taste test. If you tried any of the things I tried today, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.